So I have to say, this episode of Rewrite was insane. The insanity comes with looking at where Kotaro is in this season compared to where he was around the same time period in Season 1. Season 1 being him in the coma with his memories altered, seeing how he would react with his group of friends in a much more kind way. But this Kotaro is ruthless as hell, though there is a lot of compassion with his character as well. Despite the bloodshed, despite the people he was willing to kill, and despite the little girl's heart that he is willing to break, there is something pure underneath all of that just destruction and bloodthirst. I mean, if we focus on what he did to Katori this week, I mean, he's focusing on doing what he can. He's going to protect Kaguri. He is going to give her whatever fond memories she needs. He is going to put an end to Gaia and Guardian. And Katori ends up following him after, because the episode is kind of him, he's playing both sides. He's working with one side, telling the other what that other side's gonna do, and it's kind of vice versa, where he's killing each of the members to pretty much put them dead in their tracks so he can work up the plan to take them both out, kind of a thing. He's been playing both sides for a long time. And eventually Katori follows him with her parents. And even before he kills her parents, you know something's about to go down there. But what he does is not just kind of merciful, it's also kind in its own sick way, because he breaks her heart. He makes her hate him in the most just hurtful way that he could possibly do, but it's effective. All this time, he's been telling Kaguri and her that she has no right to be a part of this. This is a war she shouldn't have to fight. She is a child. She needs to get away, but she never listened. She always tried to follow him. This was the only way to, one, stop her from believing that her dead parents could come back, but two, save her life. Because if she would have followed Kotaro, there's a good chance that she could have died, and he's seen enough bloodshed. He's done enough killing himself. He doesn't need someone that he's known for all these years also dying for him. So he kills her parents and says, "I've never liked you. You've always been annoying to me." And in doing so, it pisses her off and makes her hate him. But in doing so, it saves her life. It's ruthless, but it's also kind in its own way, and that scene was phenomenal. The way that was, because at first glance you're just thinking, holy hell, this guy is just an animal. But then when you look at it, when you think of all the times he's tried to get her to run away, you realize how kind it was in its own sick way. That scene is one of the highlights, I think, of Rewrite, period. From everything we've seen in the anime, that scene in particular sticks out to me as just being phenomenal, well directed, and just the payoff from all the interactions we've had between them throughout season 2. It just makes me smile and a little sad all in one. But then we also have Esuka dying, which, I mean, the way he goes out, it kind of brings you a smile to your face, only because you see what Esuka is actually saying. Like, he's actually proud of Kotaro in his own way. Despite Kotaro being just a rebel and betraying him all these years, he just says the weak are the ones who are fine with not doing the right thing or doing the wrong thing and just losing, but the winners are the ones kind of who take the risk. And Kotaro, he trusts in Kotaro in his own way that despite him killing him, or at least giving him a fatal wound that will kill him in a little bit there, he's kind of proud, it seems like, in his own way. And watching him just smile and say, you don't have to be sorry. I mean, you're strong. Like, look at how strong you've become. You were one of the worst in your class. You were able to take me out. None of your classmates would have done that. But Kotaro gives him that final word saying, this is what I believed in. I'm going to protect her, and I think this is what's going to save Earth. And he sees it as, you know what, if that's what you believe in, continue on and don't let me stop you, not that I can, kind of a thing. And just their conversation there, because at the start, when you see the blood spikes go through his body, you're thinking, holy hell, man, this guy has to kill those closest to him. Despite him playing both sides, he does care for Esuka. Like, that is one of the people he truly cared about. Same with Katori. Like, those were people he was close with. So to see him have to do that, it's sad. But then when you have that conversation between them, you're kind of happy. Like, you know what? It sucks he died, but that final goodbye they have, it wasn't, I hate you, Kotaro, you betrayed me. It's, I respect. You have become strong and you're fighting for what you believe in. Don't let me stop you. That was another scene. It was so good. Like, those two particular scenes just, it was phenomenal. I think this episode of Rewrite, I mean, the first half of it was good, but it wasn't anything that spectacular. There was some bloodshed. I mean, the whole knife situation with him stabbing one of the members of Guardian in the throat who can see the key. Like, there was all the strategic planning and stuff like that. But once we got to that second half, the stuff with Katori, the stuff with Esuka, it really just felt special and just like this big payoff for the season. Everything coming full circle. And it's going to be crazy to see how the final episode wraps this up, as if I'm not mistaken, next week is going to be the final episode, which will end up being episode 11 for the second season and episode 24, all said and told. But this episode, it was good. I mean, there was animation issues, but I mean, just the payoff you got with the story content, seeing just how different this Kotaro is compared to where he was in season 1 with a different timeline, the payoff with Katori as well as Asuka, and just everything that has been hinted at, and just the development they've had between them, to see what he's willing to do now to make sure this works, that the Earth isn't going to end, is insane to me. And it's really going to be interesting to see how next week's episode is going to wrap up and how this season is going to conclude. I'm expecting some feels, I'm expecting some greatness, this season overall, it's been fantastic, and I can't wait to see what the hell they do next week. But for anyone who watched this episode, did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think this was okay? And what moment in the episode was your favorite and why? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and before you leave, hit that like button to show your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.